Support for Another Round comes from Dear White People, a new Netflix original series from Justin Simien. Based on Simeon's 2014 movie of the same name, the satirical comedy follows the stories and relationships of Black students as they navigate life in a predominantly white Ivy League college. You can watch Dear White People now, streaming only on Netflix.
Hey everyone, Eleanor from the Pod Squad here. I just wanted to share with you some very exciting news, and that is that Another Round is having a live show in Chicago, and we want to see you there. Join us on June 21st at Thalia Hall for a live taping of the podcast. It's going to be amazing. It's part of WBEZ's Podcast Passport series. And tickets go on sale on Friday, May 5th. And for more information, go to wbez.org/events.
Hi, everyone. I'm Heben.
I'm Tracy.
And welcome to Another Round with Heben and Tracy.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Today we have shots.
Shots.
Everybody.
And on today's shot, we are talking to the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, Morris Day.
Yo.
I can't even I just can't.
Weird.
What do you even...
Clearing the way for some legends.
Right. So we could think of no one better to help us with this interview but the one and only Nichole Perkins, who loves Prince more than anybody else I know, except maybe, I think the second biggest Prince fan I know is Anil Dash, friend of the show.
Just happens we've all had them on the show, you know. We only have the coolest.
Prince fans love us. And thankfully, she has agreed to lend her expertise to help us hook up this interview, and I'm so excited.
Yes.
Hey everybody, this is Tracy, and I am here with our resident Prince expert, Nichole Perkins. And this is a crazy sentence to say with my mouth, but we are going to be talking with the one and only actor, musician, snazzy dresser, Morris Day. He played Prince's arch-nemesis in the iconic movie Purple Rain, and he is helping us to remember Prince here today in light of the 1-year anniversary of his passing. Before we do anything else, thank you so much for talking to us. Also, for everybody listening, his new song is called Over That Rainbow. You can get it on Spotify, and you can follow him on Twitter at The Morris Day. Mr. Morris Day, hello. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, no problem. Thank you.
I can't believe I'm talking to Morris Day.
Neither can I.
You sound just like you do in the movies.
Yes.
I love it. So it has been a little over a year since Prince passed, and everybody in my life that I know, especially Nichole, has been hit really, really hard by the anniversary coming around again. It's almost, I think, as if we were reminded that this thing was like a reality and not just a dream.
Right.
How have you been holding up? What has this past year been like for you?
Well, at first, when he passed, that was the roughest part, and we did so much together musically.
Mm-hmm.
There's times when I feel like, I would like to share or at least know that he's heard what I'm doing. And, of course, we were at Paisley Park for the 1-year anniversary, which got to be tough at times because it's a museum now. And, when I was there, that was just like my brother's spot.
It's a home, yeah.
Yeah, so now to see people walking through there and looking at the walls and going through the rooms and all kind of seminars and stuff, it just felt really strange.
That sounds tough.
Yeah, but the main thing for me now is, I know that he's in a better place. And I also know that if he could speak down, he'd be like, enjoy your life. You know what I mean? And be happy. Don't, walk around with your head down. I'm good. He left his legacy and he moved on.
How did you personally commemorate his passing? Like, aside from the events at Paisley Park, how did you commemorate it?
Well, I think that was kind of it for me, just being there. Matter of fact, I got in a car and went past all of our old neighborhoods and where we used to play and where we used to hang out. And I did that thing. So I think that was probably, my way of commemorating,
What were some of the places that you rode through? Like, where were some of your spots, your haunts that you rode past?
Oh, well, North Side Minneapolis, where I first started rehearsing with Grand Central, Andre Simone's house. We rehearsed in his basement, my old house, my mom's house. And some of the places we used to play, the Riverview, the Nakarima is no longer there. But I actually lived around the corner from Prince before I even knew him. We lived like 4 or 5 houses away before we even met each other.
So you just mentioned Andre Simone.
Yeah.
And probably the second biggest fan of yours and Prince that I know is a friend of ours named Anil Dash. And he asked about Bernadette Anderson, who was Andre Simone's mother,
Yes.
who took Prince in as a teen and was a community leader in Minneapolis. And his exact question, I'm just going to read it as it is because it's so good, is, quote, "I honestly feel like without this one Black woman being a mother to the community, there would be no Minneapolis sound." What's your thought about that?
I never even give that any thought. But now that you mention it, yes, she was very gracious. She put up with us. She took Prince in, and we made a lot of noise, and we ate up the food. And yes, she was very instrumental in everything that we did.
Mm-hmm.
I got to be tight with Andre when we were going to school, North High, and I learned about Grand Central.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a band, Andre and Prince, and everybody was in. I went to hear them play, and they played like adults. They were like 14, 15-year-olds. And eventually Andre found out I played drums. I finished playing, and he's sitting there looking at me, eyes all stretched. He's like, "Man, I know you could play like that." And, yeah, man. So, he said, you were having trouble with our drummer. You need to come audition. But anyway, I got to know Bernadette, by just hanging around, and she just embraced us and, made sure we had something to eat when we were over there, and she was just a great person.
Aw.
Yeah.
And what was she like?
She was very jovial. Like she never came home, and your friends' mamas come home, you'd be like, "Oh, I better go."
Mama said I can't have company.
She had a tough day at the office, and I feel like I don't need to be here right now. But no, she never came home like that. I mean, we were there like it was a community center. So
That's really sweet.
Mm-hmm. So we want to talk about you. We want to talk about the Morris Day. How did you develop your pompous Playboy stage persona?
it was an evolution. Of course, I started out playing the drums for Grand Central, and then Prince and I started hanging out. We sort of fell off because he went to pursue his career. He got his record deal, and I moved away from Minneapolis, and I was gone for about a year. I moved back. Ended up him telling me, because I wanted to play drums in his band. He's like, "I got a drummer, Bobby Z." I was like, "But he can't play as good as I can." So,
Gotta let him know sometimes.
yeah. But he's like, "No, I'm good." He said, "But I'm gonna help you put your thing together." And he's like, "Why don't you sing?" I was like, "I don't want to sing, because I want to be behind the drums." And I said, "Plus, I don't know what to do." And he said, "Just be cool." He said, "Put your hand in your pocket and be cool."
Easy enough, huh?
Yeah. So, we started there.
Well, it seems like your persona on stage is kind of the Prince that Prince did not allow himself to be a little bit. So it seems like a blend of yourself and of Prince. So how much is you and how much is Prince?
Well, Prince's alter ego, I think, is how he wrote for us. And that was the alter ego sense. But as far as my stage persona, we always grabbed from things that I did. The first thing he told me, "Be cool," we started there, but everything that evolved from there, I learned as we went along. And, the swagger that started to develop, we were like, the way I laughed, we were like, we got to put that on the record. So it evolved, but definitely started out as an alter ego type of project for him.
And so you mentioned that laugh. Is that your laugh? Did you come up with that?
I didn't come up with it. It was just how I laughed.
What?
when I really laughed.
Oh my gosh, that's fascinating. I used to do that laugh all the time in college.
Me too.
Well, that was a scaled down version because I laughed more out of control than that. But we condensed it for the records.
Can you give us a quick sample of that laugh, please?
I wish I could.
Are we not funny enough? Is that what you're saying?
Oh no, you're funny enough, but
I love that that's your actual laugh. It makes me wish that I brought some jokes or something with me today. I don't know.
Oh,
Next time, though. Next time.
hey, that's how I used to laugh, and I still laugh like that on stage. But I'm a little more controlled these days. I was out of control.
There's nothing wrong with calming down a little bit. That's okay. Support for Another Round comes from Dear White People, a new Netflix original series from Justin Simien based on his 2014 movie of the same name. Now streaming on Netflix, Dear White People explores the reality of discussing race in public and the differing points of view that come up when that discussion happens. So this got me to thinking about one word that has crossed over into the mainstream big time in the past couple of years, and that term is woke. So to examine this term with me, I've invited my friends and BuzzFeed colleagues into the stew with me. We have Miss Essence Gant, BuzzFeed's beauty editor, who you've already had the privilege of meeting on the show before. Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
And we also have Trey Green, who is a staff writer here with our marketing team. Hey, boo.
Hello.
So the term woke. I feel like right now we're at that pivotal moment in a term that is born in the Black community where white people discover it and then nobody wants to use it anymore. Do you feel like we're approaching that time now?
I guess kind of. I feel like it's like, okay, here y'all go taking something else. And then not only are you taking something else, but like something that is like has such significant like meaning and value, especially where we are now. And it's just like, don't talk to me about wokeness and woke. Like, I'm just kind of irritated on that level. I don't necessarily know if it'll make me stop using the word when I want to, but it's just like aggravating.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, girl, please. It's one of those
like
things.
again, we're doing this again.
Right.
Yeah.
Do any of your parents, aunties, uncles use the term woke?
My parents are not anywhere near the woke generation,
No.
so they're just telling me to do your best job, read the news.
Keep your head down, do your work.
That's their
Yeah.
version of woke.
Stay aware.
So yeah, I can't see them using any of those modern terms, I guess we would call them. But I mean, also my parents are like, you know, they lived through civil rights.
True.
So they don't have to tell me nothing because y'all
Right.
experienced it. Like,
It's like,
y'all
we
were
was
deep
born
in
woke.
it. Right.
Right. Right.
We
We
just call
are
it
woke.
woke. Yeah.
We'll never sleep.
Ever.
So,
Insomnia is real.
right.
Thanks again to the new Netflix original series, Dear White People, for sponsoring this episode of Another Round. Created by Justin Simien, who wrote and directed the original movie, Dear White People is available to stream now only on Netflix.
I want to talk about one of my favorite time songs, and it's called If the Kid Can't Make You Come.
Whoop. Am I old enough for this conversation?
I don't
Should
know.
I step out?
It's a little bit of a grown-up conversation.
You left out the other part of the title.
What?
What's the other part?
Nobody can.
Oh, that's right.
So I am too young for this conversation. I'm only 35, y'all.
I want to know, because I remember listening to this song when I was a little girl and just being like, oh my God, what is happening?
Wait, how old were you when you first heard the song?
I was maybe 7, something like that.
Did you know what it was about?
I did not know what it was about, but I could, connect the dots a
You
little
could tell
bit.
you could tell it was nasty.
Yes, I could tell it was nasty. And I want to know, have you ever really had someone recite the Pledge of Allegiance during grown-up time?
Ooh.
No, as a matter of fact, that was all-
Are you blushing through the phone?
It
no, that
I love this.
We-
Oh my
That-
gosh, this is the
that was
highlight
all
of my life.
scripted. It was all scripted.
That's your story. You sticking to it, huh?
Sticking to it.
Nothing influenced that. Nothing, inspired it. Nothing like that.
Oh, there's lots of inspiration, but
We just turned into giggling teenagers.
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
Can I just ask, how do you feel about the term cat daddy?
Also, I
Yeah.
wonder if that's a regional term. Is that something that you grew up hearing?
I've heard it. I don't, that one, I've never been called. Not, to my face, but
Okay.
I don't have a problem with the term if that's what you're asking me.
Well, the Morris Day persona on stage is kind of a cat daddy, just so cool and so put together, and you dress well
and comfortable and familiar.
Right, and you look like you smell good. So, that's kind of like a little cat daddy thing going on.
Okay.
But, we're Southern. We're Southern,
Well,
so maybe that's what it is.
Sound like tongue twisted. Sound like a song title to me.
Hey.
Dang.
So when can we do this collaboration?
I would love it.
You can play
There
the
you
drums.
go.
I'll pretend to sing. It'll be great. So earlier you were talking about you being a drummer. When's the last time you were behind a set of drums?
I'm sitting looking at my drums right now.
Are you really?
Yeah, I keep drums in my office. I still play. It's still one of the things I love to do.
Just for fun?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm so fascinated by musical people because I am not one of those people. So
Neither am
I
I.
really don't know how, when do you play an instrument? Is it only when you're making a song? Is it when you're sad, when you're happy? Like, when do you reach for the drums?
Well, sometimes, I put myself on a regimen like, okay, I want to play every day. And then sometimes you just feel like playing, it's in your head and you want to, do it. So it just depends.
How old were you when you first gravitated towards the drum? What was it about the drums that appealed to you?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. I just started to love the drums, and back in the day, I was a big fan of James Brown in the early days, and he always had two drummers, and his drummers still some of the funkiest stuff I've ever heard. And back then, I just wanted to play, so I would take my mom's. They used to have them wooden spoons, and and not the spoon end, but the other end had a little like drum tip on it. So I would take those, I break up her spoons, beat up on her couch, on the edge of the couch, till it started to wear down. And so she finally said, okay, I'm going to get you some drums.
So you can leave my spoons alone.
Yes, she got me a cheap pair of Sears drums, and, it was on from there.
So a while ago, you were on a TV show called New Attitude, where you played a character who was a hairstylist.
I remember New Attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of want to see you back on TV. Is that possible? Can we get you back on TV?
What we got to do?
That's always a possibility. You got to tell them to call me.
Well, what would you like to play? What kind of show would you like to be on?
I'm not sure. I think I would kind of like to do something half drama with the comedic edge. I always want to play a cop or something. I don't know.
Ooh, how about a buddy cop comedy with you and Jerome? I'm here for it.
Well, actually, we did that, but it never saw the light of day. It was called Hotel.
What?
Yeah, it was called Hotel Dix, believe it or not.
Oh my God.
Wait.
Yeah.
What happened to it?
How can we see this?
It just had behind the scenes issues with the producers and stuff like that. It was at 20th Century Fox. They were going through a lot of changes with their executives and stuff like that. And we lost a few of our people who were batting for us and really rooting for that show. And then they brought in a new head, and that lady wasn't feeling the show, and she canceled it. So
how dare she? Send us her name. We'll deal with that one.
Yeah, Lucy Silhaney.
All right, Lucy. We're gonna find your number.
Yeah.
What was your character like on the show?
Oh, it was like classic Morris and Jerome.
Oh my gosh.
Except we were hotel detectives, so we weren't bona fide cops, but anything that went down in the hotel, we was, in charge.
I love it. We recently had a young lady named Lizzo on the show. Lizzo collabed with Prince. When she was on the show, she said the most beautiful, glowing things about Minneapolis. And I was like, wow, I maybe need to go visit. Do you still feel a connection to Minneapolis?
Of course. Of course. Always.
Do you feel there are any artists today that come close to that Minneapolis sound without it being, just imitation?
Well, I don't know. I think Bruno Mars has done a good job of kind of keeping the old school funk alive.
We love Bruno Mars.
Yeah, but I can't say that that's Minneapolis, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
So I don't know. He would be my vote for, closest to keeping it alive.
So not long after Prince passed, everybody was like, okay, who's going to do the tribute on all the award shows? Nichole, what was your favorite Prince tribute?
I actually can't remember the exact show, but maybe it was BET. But Bilal,
Yes.
he did great Prince tributes. I think he did the beautiful ones.
Yeah.
That was great. Some award show tributes were successful and some weren't.
Some were just really bad.
Yeah. Why do you think so many missed the mark?
Well, I think if you want to do a tribute, first of all, you need to go to somebody who really knows about what was going on and what that whole music scene was about. That's why Sheila did a good job. And I think Bruno was smart to bring us in. And, and then you had like the Billboard Awards who just said, okay, we're going to do our own thing. We're going to bring in Madonna. And, and there, I'm gonna tell you a funny story about that. They had nerve enough to offer to fly me in coach.
Wait.
No.
Hey, to come and sit in the audience and watch. I was like, are y'all kidding me right now?
Wow. So when you turned them down, was it like a no thank you, or was it a y'all out your minds?
It was like, Morris is busy. I got things to do.
He's washing his hair that day.
I love it.
So speaking of Prince and tributes, it always makes us think of how people are remembered and how their legacies are preserved. Do you ever wonder or worry about what's going to happen to your legacy? And do you have any ideas as to how you want that to be honored and preserved?
We talking about me dying now?
Well, okay, so here's the thing. Yes, but I tried to be real sweet about it. I guess I didn't do a great job.
That's not a good thing to talk about.
It's not.
But I hear you. But I hear you. So what I would like is a musical celebration. I would like to see somebody cover some of our songs. But I just, my thing is, and I don't want to sound callous at all, but I'm not good with funerals and stuff like that.
Yeah, man, me either.
So I don't attend them. The only one I know I'm going to have to go to is mine. And so, I just want everybody to be upbeat. I ain't going to be mad if you don't come to my funeral. And I hope you partying and remember the good things and just be happy about it. As few tears as possible and as much, joy as possible.
And just to clarify a little bit, I wasn't talking specifically like about your funeral, but just like when, like your music, like how do you want it to live on? Like,
and I think too, it's also, as the old folks say, you have to give people their flowers while they're here, right? So, if there's a way that you want to be honored while you can witness that honor, we would love to do that for you.
Good save, Nichole. Good save.
Thank you. I was trying.
That's why I hang out with her.
Yeah. Let's just do my tribute right now while I'm still alive.
While we're talking about legacy, what's the best way that we can honor Prince and his legacy?
Well, I think honoring Prince is, just what people are going to automatically do. I don't think that any true Prince fan is ever going to let go of his music or the memories. And then there's so much documentation now. I mean, you can go online, you can see him perform. And you know what? What I realized about my friend and brother is he's greater than I ever gave him credit for being when he was here. And I hate that about myself, because I looked at him performing when he was here and I'm just looking at Prince. But, now when I look at what he did and what he left behind, I'm viewing him in a much greater sense than I did when I was able to call him and tell him, So it's like that. And I think any true Prince fan will probably feel that way about him. And, his music will live forever.
Absolutely.
So we are super, super excited to see what is next for Morris Day. We understand that you have a project called The Original 7. Can you tell us about that?
The Original 7 is a project we did it's going on 10 years ago. This happened when we were trying to do a Time reunion album. And Prince stepped in and said, no, you can't use the name. And so we used The Original 7. And at first I was a little pissed about that. But as the project went on and I saw how it went down, I said, he was onto something. And I'm glad he saved me from myself. So, we didn't use the name. But right now we got Over That Rainbow. And that's the project that we're on. I did a whole record with Snoop. And,
wow.
he executive produced Over That Rainbow. If you look, it's done on Doggy Style Records. So we've got a whole album in the can, and we'll be following up Over That Rainbow with some real heat. And it's just fun time for me right now.
You in New York anytime soon?
We'll definitely be in New York. We're always in New York.
Okay, well maybe we'll run into you in New York one of these days.
Sound like a plan.
We cannot thank Morris Day enough for giving us part of his time and his energy and just sitting and chit-chatting with us. Your challenge, should you accept it, is to check out his new song called Over That Rainbow on Spotify. That rainbow, not this rainbow, not that rainbow over there. Over that rainbow.
Okay.
Follow him on Twitter at The Morris Day. The Morris Day. The one and only Morris Day. Shout out to the Pod Squad.
Pod Squad.
Woo,
Bow, bow,
woo,
bow.
woo. Beautiful. Oh, it's still happening.
Whoa. Lucy. A little loosey-goosey.
What is happening?
I don't know.
This episode was produced by Nina Patak and Julia Ferlin with editorial oversight from Eleanor Kagan and Meg Kramer.
And production support from the newest member of the Pod Squad, Agarenish Ashagre.
Shout out to our in-house musicians, Miss Jean Gray. You can follow her on Twitter at Jean Greasy. And Don Will of the Almighty Tanya Morgan. You can follow him at Don Will. You can follow Heaven at Heaven Rants on
I be
Twitter.
ranting.
Oh, she do. You can follow me at Brokey McPoverty because you know what? Send me $1. Email us, tweet us, Facebook us. Another round on all the things. Rate us on iTunes. Tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
Be nice to your friends and share the beautiful things that you love with them.
Why are you not sharing this goodness with everyone around you?
Listen, don't be selfish.
Don't do
be
that.
greedy.
Don't do that. We taught you better than that.
Be greedy with your snacks, not with your podcasts.
All right.
Subscribe to our newsletter. You can do that at BuzzFeed.com/anotherround/newsletter. The newsletter is poppin'. Buy you some merch. Get you a t-shirt that says something about Another Round on it. Maybe get you a tote bag that might say something about Another Round on it. Maybe you should do that at shop.buzzfeed.com. I don't know. It's your life, but you should do it. Drink some water, take your meds, call your person.
Make your bed.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Can you do a Morris Day laugh?
Oh, no. I don't know which laugh it is.
It's the real high one. I'll see if I can do it. That wasn't
No.
good.
Wait,
you
no,
go.
that's not it.
No, that's it.
Did you see RuPaul's Drag Race last night?
Of course I did.
It blew my mind.
It's all I ever talk about, and I can't find anybody to talk about it with, so I am so thankful that you're here.
I mean, you have become my RuPaul's Drag Race soulmate, and I am thrilled that we have a new podcast at BuzzFeed called The Library, where this is all we talk about.
Here, it truly is RuPaul's best friend race.
I could not agree with you more. So join us every Saturday as we recap the latest episode of Season 9 and gag over TV's best reality show.
Tune in wherever you find your podcasts.